Quitting isn't fun. Nobody likes to quit. After you quit something, you get this immediate feeling of shame and guilt that what if you had done better? What if you had tried just a little bit harder? What if you had gone just a little bit further? Your self-esteem is completely shot down because in your head, you're not as good as you thought you were. You couldn't achieve what you thought you could achieve. You set out to do something and you quit, and you know that. Nobody else cares, and you know that. You need to understand that nobody knows that guy who quits. Everybody quits. Nobody remembers the guy who thought he could do it, and he tried so hard, but he ended up giving up. Nobody cares about that guy. And really, the only person who suffers when you quit is yourself. You're all alone. Nobody's there to coddle you. Nobody's there to hold you. Nobody's there to tell you that it's okay, because you know in your own mind that it's not okay to quit. Yet, you still give up on yourself. And you still look back and you still wonder, what if I had gone just a little bit harder? What if I had actually done it? What would have happened had I not quit? You know, when it comes to weight loss, so many people try to lose weight. They say, oh, I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna start in a week. I'm gonna start when it's convenient for me. I'm gonna start when I feel like starting. But when it actually comes down to starting and doing something, 9 times out of 10, people will give up on themselves before they can even give themselves a chance to win. You are a quitter until you're not. Don't you realize that you are forever a quitter until you prove that you're not? And the only way to prove that you're not a quitter is to not ever give up. Not ever stop trying. Get so caught up with their social status that they'll just try to fit in and eat whatever their friends are eating, or go out when it's convenient to go out with their family or their coworkers or their friends. And they know when they're laying there in bed all alone that they could have done something, that they regret taking that action, that they regret accepting that extra plate of food at that dinner party because they could. You see, so many people give up on themselves in the moment, and then they just lay there in shame after they've taken all these decisions to ruin their progress. So many people don't realize this. Don't you see that you are worth more? You are worth more than even you can believe you are worth. But you have to believe it. You have to know it. Every single day you can decide to quit. It can be today. It can be tomorrow. It can be the next day. But every single day you have a new opportunity to say to yourself, I'm gonna make it through today, or I'm gonna give up. And usually people don't tell themselves that, they just act it out. Every day they will get up and they'll quit themselves. Every day they'll get back up and they'll quit themselves. Giving up on yourself doesn't have to be forever, but the scars are. You can fall down 1,000,000 times. You can stop trying 1,000,000 times, and you can get back up 1,000,001 times. But every single time that you quit, every time that you give up on yourself, every time that you fall and you allow yourself to give up, those scars are forever imprinted in your mind. No matter how far you get in life, you're always going to look back at that moment when you quit, when you give up, when you thought, what would have happened had I not had to try 15 more times to lose weight? And the saying is, to conquer the island, you must burn the boats. If you want to lead an army to an island and conquer that island, take over anybody that's there, and do anything that you set your mind to, you have to absolutely burn every other bridge. You cannot allow yourself to have an escape plan. There is no plan B. The only choice that you have is to take over that island, is to conquer that island. Because once you burn the boats, there's no going back. It's painful either way. It's suffering when you quit because you know in your head that you could have kept going, that you could have achieved something greater, that you believe that you were so great and you went out there to try and achieve a goal, but you quit and you gave up on yourself. We all know what that feels like. And on the flip side of that, when you don't quit and you don't give up, it's nothing but pain and suffering to get to that goal, and you start to wonder yourself, is getting to this goal even worth it in the first place? Either way, you're gonna be suffering. Either way, you're gonna be in pain. Either way, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Either way, you're gonna hate it. Until you don't. Until you actually hit that goal. Until you find out that that goal was so much easier than you first thought it was. You keep passing those standards every single day. only then can you realize that the suffering and the pain was worth it. But if you choose to suffer forever, if you choose to give up on yourself, if you choose to quit, you'll never feel that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of worthiness, that feeling of conquering the island, because you burned the boats and you did whatever you could to suffer for something. Don't you see that? You're gonna be suffering either way, but you need to decide what you're gonna suffer for. Do you wanna suffer for the rest of your life and be scarred forever that you got up today and that you wanted to achieve something, but yet you still didn't allow yourself to get to that goal? Or do you want to get up every day and look at that pain straight in the eyes and go straight through it, and go through it again, and go through it again, and go through it again when it hurts the most? What do you want to suffer for? Do you want to suffer for that goal, or do you want to suffer from lack of self-worth? The decision is always yours.